Nexus Guardians, Arcstone's Fall, Part 2, The Hidden Vault. The night after the Arcstone's explosion was unlike any other in Oakhaven's history. The once bright city now pulsed in fragments of light, half the districts plunged into darkness, others flickering with unstable power. Emergency drones swarmed the skies, scanning for survivors, while frightened citizens huddled in the streets. Elara Vynn stood on her hoverboard high above the chaos, her heart pounding. The Arcstone Tower was cracked open, glowing like a wounded star. Sparks and debris floated through the air like blue fireflies. Hoot hovered beside her, his holographic feathers glitching from the electromagnetic pulse. System integrity at 61%, Hoot said, his voice flickering. "Hang in there, buddy," Elara replied. "We're going to fix this." She zoomed toward the tower, weaving through the drifting debris. The once gleaming structure was now scarred, the crystal heart exposed and humming with unstable energy. Through the crack in the Arcstone, faint symbols glowed, ancient, unlike any data she'd ever seen. "Those markings," she whispered. "They're not part of the city's systems." Hoot scanned the energy patterns. Negative. These predate the Arcstone's recorded history by at least several centuries. "This is impossible." Elara landed at the base of the tower. The air was heavy with static, her wristband vibrating from the energy overload. She approached the crack cautiously, the light reflecting in her eyes. Suddenly, the ground beneath her trembled. A deep rumble echoed, followed by the sound of machinery awakening below the city. "What was that?" Elara asked. The crack widened slightly, and a pulse of blue light burst outward, forming a floating hologram in front of her. The image flickered, revealing an ancient seal, a circular emblem with 7 interconnected stones surrounding a central core. "The Nexus seal," Hoot said softly. "I've only seen references to it in fragmented archives." The hologram glowed brighter, then projected coordinates in midair, far below the city, deep underground. "Coordinates detected," Hoot confirmed. "Beneath the old industrial zone. Estimated depth, 2 kilometers. Elara stared at the projection. "So that's where it's coming from, the energy drain." She turned toward her hoverboard. "We need to go underground." As they descended into the lower levels of Oakhaven, the city changed. The clean lights and glass towers faded into rusted steel and shadow. The air was colder here, filled with steam and echoes of forgotten machinery. Few people ever came this deep, it was the city's buried skeleton. Hoot projected a small map. "The signal is growing stronger." They followed it through abandoned tunnels until they reached a massive sealed gate, covered in dust and strange symbols, the same ones Elara had seen inside the Arcstone. "This must be it," she said. "The hidden vault." She ran her hand over the metal, feeling it hum beneath her touch. Her wristband glowed faintly, syncing with the symbols. The gate began to react, shifting and unlocking in segments with a mechanical roar. "Elara," Hoot warned, "this might not be safe." "Neither is the world if we do nothing." The gate split open, and light flooded out. Inside was a vast chamber filled with ancient machinery, glowing conduits, and towering statues of what looked like armored figures holding fragments of crystals. In the center of the room hovered a spherical device, cracked but still alive, pulsing with the same energy as the Arcstone. "This is it," Elara whispered. "The Nexus core." But before she could step closer, a sudden blast of red energy hit the ground in front of her, throwing her backward. Out of the shadows stepped the cloaked figure she had seen before, his red eyes glowing brighter than ever. "You shouldn't have come here, child," he said, his voice low and mechanical. Elara raised her arm defensively, activating her wristband's shield. Sparks crackled around her. "Who are you?" she demanded. The figure smiled under his hood. "I am what your people forgot. The first guardian, and the last one still awake." The words sent a chill through her. "The Nexus Guardians were real?" Elara asked, disbelief in her voice. He took a step forward, the ground shaking beneath his boots. "They were, until your city sealed us away to harness the Arcstone's power. Now, you will watch it all crumble." He raised his arm, and red lightning arced toward her. Hoot darted in front, projecting a shield. The impact threw both of them backward, crashing against a pillar. Elara groaned, clutching her wristband. We're not done yet. She slammed her hand on the device, triggering a defensive pulse. The vault filled with light, blue against red, as two energies clashed in a storm of power. The last thing Elara saw before blacking out was the mysterious figure disappearing into the shadows, whispering, "When the Arcstone falls, the Guardians will rise again." When she woke, the vault was quiet. Hoot hovered weakly beside her, his light dim. "Elara, the core, it's gone." She looked up, the Nexus core was missing, its pedestal empty. She stood slowly, looking toward the surface, her face lit by the faint, dying glow of the vault. "Then it's true," she said quietly. Arcstone's fall wasn't an accident. She tightened her wristband and stepped forward. "We're going to find him, Hoot. And we're going to find the truth."